Hey guys, I'm glad so many of you liked my video about shaving my head. Update, I took it down with a number one. It's a lot shorter now. I think I like it. I don't know anymore. But that's not the point of this video. Uh, the point of this video is it's gonna be like a story time. So, I wanted to talk about some stuff. I'm currently sitting in my basement. I have a little bed set up down here and it's pretty cool. I'm a fan. Um but anyways, sorry. My mind's kind of all over the place right now. I don't know, I want to get real with you guys, and I feel like I've done a lot of, oh, look at me in these stripper outfits and oh, what's in my bag and blah 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 blah, but there's something I saw today that reminded me that I'm a person and I have, feelings and just like everyone else. And I don't know, I just wanted to show you guys that personal side to myself. Hold on. My throat is dry. Have any of you guys tried, side note, this watermelon, it's probably going to be backwards, huh? It's watermelon juice from Tropicana. It's super good. Okay, so this is kind of a story time about depression and anxiety and stuff. It's not the most fun topic, but it's something that I think needs to be talked about, right? Because it's real and it happens to people all the time, and a lot of people don't talk about it. So here I am, Thursday night, 8:17. I did my makeup, as you maybe can see. I don't know, my camera isn't great. I'm just trying to make myself look better, look good enough for work. I'm supposed to be there at 8, by the way, but I did not go. I have been calling off of work for the past 2+ weeks, and before that I think I worked for like a week, maybe 2, and then before that I called off for another 2 weeks. I don't know. I've been going through a rough time lately and I'm not sure why. I guess it's important to start at the beginning. When I was in, 8th grade, I started feeling different things, stuff that I wasn't used to. I was a teenager. I got emotional. And I started, just getting really upset and getting really unhappy. I wasn't doing great in school, and just, I think all those things in combination affected each other. So, I started cutting myself when I was in 8th grade, and I actually started doing it because I read about an article in like 17 magazine or something about a girl who cut herself. And instead of me thinking, ooh, I don't want to do that, like that sounds bad, I was like, wow, I really want to try this. Which, that's kind of a red flag, right? But I started taking medicine, I don't think till 9th grade. I was still doing it on and off in 9th grade, and eventually my parents got me to start seeing a therapist, and I don't know, I was not into it at all, but they put me on meds, and then my mom took me off meds because she said I didn't need them, which, yeah, that helped a lot. So, I would be on meds, and then I would try different meds, and I was on Effexor for like 10 years. And then I decided I wanted to get off of them because I started having regular panic attacks, and I was trying to take everything out of my life, caffeine, drugs, whatever I could to try to see if I could make them go away. Now, if I think back, the first panic attack I ever had, if I really think about it, was ninth grade. And I had just gotten high with my friends. And we were walking back to school because this was during lunch. And I just sat down in the middle of the street and I said, just leave me here. And then I was like, but don't leave me, and like I can't go anywhere, and blah 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 blah. And I was like freaking out. And for a while I thought that was just from weed, so that didn't happen again for, I don't know, at least 5 years, like 4 years. So I kept smoking weed. And then it started happening again when I smoked weed a lot more frequently. So I decided, all right, I'm going to quit smoking because I'm not going to go through this. It's way worse to have to deal with that than to enjoy being high, which sucks because I always loved smoking more than I loved drinking. But I had to make a choice, and I wasn't willing to deal with panic attacks. It just wasn't fun. So I quit smoking weed. I quit everything. I quit smoking cigarettes. And I was okay for a while. And then the panic attacks started happening again. And that really sucked. Usually it was at night, but sometimes, random things in like high stress situations could really set me off. But the way it would usually happen, and the way that it still does happen, is I'll wake up in the middle of the night and it feels like you're dying. It feels like you can't breathe. All of a sudden, you're gasping for air and your heart is racing and you're sure that you're having a heart attack. And I remember the first time this happened after the weed thing. Well, it happened a lot, but the first time it happened after that, I was convinced that I was dying. And I actually made my boyfriend at the time take me to the hospital because I was like, I was saying goodbye to him in the car. I was like, I love you, I just want to let you know, like I was sobbing. My body was shaking. It was like these muscle spasms going in waves up and down my body. And I was just like shaking uncontrollably and I couldn't breathe and I was sure I was going to die. And that really sucked. But we got to the hospital and sat waiting for about a half an hour, and then, lo and behold, stops. So we left. I wasn't about to pay a shit ton of money for them to tell me, you had a panic attack, you're fine. So, yeah, I quit doing everything and it stopped for a while. And I thought, great, I finally figured it out. I finally got it down. And then it started happening again. So, obviously that was not successful. Woo! But at this point, I don't think I was on any meds. And it started happening frequently enough that I was like, okay, I need to go to the doctor. I think the thing that made me really say that is it happened when I was on an airplane. And I was like, this is terrible, because I just like looked out the window and I felt like there was no, there were no stars. It was dark. I couldn't see anything. I was like, there's no world besides this tiny plane that I'm in. This is all that exists. And I started freaking out. So I went to the doctor and I was like, listen, I had a panic attack on an airplane. It was terrible. Please help. So she gave me a prescription for like 10 Klonopin. She was like, take them if you need them, blah, blah, blah. Well, the thing about the anxiety is I was too scared and anxious to take the Klonopin. even if I needed it. Uh, for instance, I started to have a panic attack another time when I was on an airplane, and I actually did take a Klonopin because I was like, well, fuck, this is a long ass flight. I better do something. My stomach got so upset, like I had to go sit in the airplane bathroom and just kind of like hide and collect myself. And I was like convinced that I was gonna overdose on the half a Klonopin I took. It was stupid. Anyways, so I still get a prescription for those, but honestly, I rarely ever take them. Since then, I've talked to doctors about, different meds. I've tried a bunch. I'm taking Lexapro right now, but I'm on the highest dose, and well, obviously it's not working so great. I know talk therapy is good, and I've tried it. I have. It's just really hard to get me to go, and I swear if one more person tries to tell me, um, oh, you just need to, you need to get out and exercise. You just need to get out and go out, and it's really good for you, blah, 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 blah. Like, I know it is. But when I get so depressed that I can't leave the couch, making it to the gym is a real far cry. Or even going out to eat. I mean, I can sleep upwards of 12 hours at a time and then wake up for a couple hours and then be ready to take a nap. It's exhausting. And when you're just laying there or sitting there and nothing feels right. I mean, imagine trying to go to work as a stripper when you look in the mirror and all that you can see is everything bad. And I'm not saying that to get compliments or whatever, but literally you look at yourself and you just think like, oh, I'm a failure, and then having the anxiety and depression at the same time is like, oh, you got to get out of the house, but you can't. And then when you don't, then that makes it even worse. Or, you try to do something and I don't know, it's like they're always fighting with each other. Um, I don't know. It's really tough. I, I'm human, and I know there's a lot of other people out there that deal with this kind of stuff. And I don't know, it does help me to think that, I'm not alone. And there are people that go through this kind of stuff every day just like me. And then on the flip side, I start thinking about that. I'm like, but look at them, they can make it to work. They can, have a relatively normal life. And like, what is wrong with me that I can't even go to work to survive? Like, what am I gonna do? I have some money saved up, I do, but not for long. And then what? I have to get back out there. And honestly, I was thinking about going to work today, and I got ready. I got ready, and then I was just sitting there looking at myself, and I couldn't do it. So I'm waiting till tomorrow when I'll have at least one person there that I know I can count on and that can, support me and help me hang in there. Because we always kind of do that for each other, and I don't know, it just makes me feel really good to know that there's people out there like that, and I'm really fortunate to have someone like that where I work. And I know I'm rambling, but I don't know, I just wanted to talk about it. I don't know if I'll ever even post this, but I wanted to get it out because don't know. I don't want to sound cliche and say, like, you're not alone. We all deal with it. But it's hard. And you don't always have to be one of those people who's, you know, having that normal life and making it. It's okay to just not be able to do it sometimes. At least that's what I try to remind myself. I'm not really sure where my life is going at this point, and that's weird for me. I've always sort of had an idea, you know, how to plan, and I don't know, I didn't really plan any of this. I didn't plan to start dancing. I didn't plan to quit my job as a chef and do this full time. I didn't plan to shave my head. I didn't plan to pierce my nipples. I didn't, you know, none of it has been planned lately. And that's kind of crazy for me. And I don't like change. I hate change. I'm stubborn and set in my ways. So, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I just felt like I needed to record, so I did that. But, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go now. I just wanted to tell all of you guys that are watching this that you're amazing and you're wonderful. And, you know, don't get down on yourself because nobody's perfect. And mental illness is not something to be ashamed of. And it's not all in your head, even though, you know, it's all in your head. But it's not something you're making up, and it can be as debilitating as physical illness, as any physical illness. And, you know, I see things on Tumblr all the time. Yes, I still use Tumblr. That are like, you know, oh, it's all in, you know, comparing it to physical diseases. And I think people are really on the way to seeing it that way. Just, it's crazy to me that I'm feeling this thing that no one else can possibly understand but me. I mean, obviously other people with anxiety and depression understand what I'm going through, but it's just so unique to each person, and that's kind of wild. But it's real. It's definitely real, and it's a bitch. But don't let it get the best of you, because it doesn't have to be the end. I mean, there's always something you can do. Self-care is really important. I don't know, I could make this video go on forever talking about ways to deal with it and what I do personally and things not to do. But I'm no expert. I'm just speaking from what I know, and I know that it's going to be okay, because it just is, damn it. So, yeah, you guys are amazing and wonderful and loved, and no matter what the little voice inside your head is telling you or other people are telling you, you are special and you can do it, you know? Don't listen to any of those negative thoughts. And it's amazing how good it feels just to make one step in the right direction. You know, I went out the other night to the casino. It was a while ago, and just to be able to go out felt so good. I mean, just making myself get out and go to the gym. Like, when I finally accomplished being able to do that, shit, I posted on my Snapchat the other day. I left the house, and I was so proud of myself. You kind of, you recreate what it means to be victorious. You know, it's those little victories. Like, I left the house today. I took a shower. take those small victories, because sometimes when you're depressed, those little things seem anything but possible. And, you know, just one day at a time, I guess. That's all I've been doing. All right, I'm gonna go. So let me know, I don't know, talk to me, you guys. I want to get to know more about my followers and more about people that watch these videos, because I'm sure we all have at least one thing in common. So, you know, if you like this, or if you want to hear more, or if you have anxiety or depression, like the video. And if you want to see more, then subscribe. That's all I ask. Have a good night, you guys.